Doctor predicts a bleak future for Caitlin Clark with her new injury, but offers a solution to prevent further problems. Caitlin Clark's groin strain raises long-term concerns, and a sports physician says Indiana must rethink her treatment. Caitlin Clark has once again found herself battling injury, this time grasping her right groin in the final moments of the Indiana Fever's 85-77 win over the Connecticut Sun. It was a game marked by high energy, packed stands, and late-game heroics, but it ended with Clark visibly in pain and emotionally shaken. The sold-out crowd at TD Garden witnessed another gritty performance from the rookie phenom, but after her final assist sealed the game, Clark walked back up the court, hunched slightly, clutching her right side. Fever forward Aliyah Boston tried to comfort her, but Clark's reaction spoke louder than words. She banged her head against the basket stanchion, then sat down with a towel over her head, fighting back tears. Head coach Stephanie White offered little in terms of concrete updates. No update, just felt a little something in her groin, she said. We'll get it evaluated and see what happens. The medical expert sounds the alarm. While the Fever coaching staff took a cautious tone, sports physician Dr. Jesse Morse wasn't as reserved. On social media, Dr. Morse didn't mince words when critiquing the current handling of Clark's condition. Whatever the medical staff is doing right now is unfortunately not enough. According to Dr. Morse, groin injuries are particularly problematic because they're slow to heal and easy to aggravate. They are constantly required for anything involving the legs, he emphasized, pointing out the critical role groin muscles play in a player's mobility and overall explosiveness. Dr. Morse even suggested advanced treatment options such as stem cell injections to accelerate healing and prevent further setbacks. This latest groin issue is especially concerning because it's on the right side, whereas her earlier injuries were on the left. That signals a potential compensation issue, which often happens when athletes subconsciously shift their movements to protect the healing area, placing added strain elsewhere. In Clark's case, it's beginning to look like a cycle that could become increasingly difficult to manage without significant intervention. Clark soldiers on despite pain. Despite the discomfort, Clark still delivered a near triple-double with 14 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds. However, her shooting struggles continued, just 4 for 14 from the field and a rough 1 for 7 from three-point range. That lone three perimeter did come at a crucial moment, pushing the Fever to their largest lead of the night with just 3 minutes remaining. The groin issue may partly explain her declining shooting rhythm and lateral movement. For a player known for deep threes and sharp cuts, these limitations are glaring. And yet, her presence on the floor still drives Indiana's offense. Coach White attempted to remain positive. At least we've got experience in that, she said, referencing previous games where the team played without Clark. While intended as reassurance, it was perhaps unintentionally revealing of how frequently the Fever have had to adapt to her absence. As the Fever evaluate her condition further, one thing is clear. Clark's long-term health may hinge not just on rest, but on strategic medical intervention. Whether the Fever's staff adapts or continues business as usual may determine whether this season becomes a footnote or a warning sign. The crowd had roared just minutes earlier, but now an uneasy silence settled inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Caitlin Clark lay on the hardwood, clutching her leg. Again, fans, teammates, even opponents froze, watching the face of a franchise wincing pain. It was the second time in a month. Too soon. Too frequent. After an anxious pause, Clark was held off the court, her limp more pronounced than before. There was no dramatic wave to the crowd this time, no forced smile, just a glazed stare and clenched jaw. The concern wasn't just physical now, it was existential. A few hours later, Caitlin sat alone in a white-walled examination room. The familiar hum of fluorescent lights felt louder than ever. Across from her, Dr. Evelyn Hart, the Fever's lead medical specialist, adjusted her coat, lips pressed into a line. Dr. Hart was known for being blunt. She had helped athletes come back from the brink, but she had also told someone it was time to walk away. She tapped the MRI results with her pen. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, Caitlin. Caitlin exhaled, bracing herself. You're showing signs of early cartilage wear in both knees. Compounded with the strain from the latest fall, you're facing a future where your body might not hold up for more than a few years if nothing changes. The words stung. A few years? But I'm only 23, Caitlin muttered, more to herself than to anyone else. I know, Dr. Hart said gently, but you've pushed your body through extraordinary stress since college. Played the most minutes. carried the most load. Every cut, every jump, it added up. Now your foundation is telling us something. Silence. Caitlin blinked, her throat dry. Is it over? She finally asked, voice cracking. Dr. Hart leaned forward, eyes sharp but kind. No. But it could be, if we keep going like this. Or we reinvent. Over the next hour, Dr. Hart outlined a plan, not of surrender, but of transformation. It was unlike anything Caitlin had expected. Less about surgery or temporary patches, more about science, patience, and long-term preservation. It would require advanced regenerative treatment to slow cartilage deterioration, a biomechanics overhaul to reduce joint impact during games, a complete change in training, less emphasis on grind, more on longevity, a strict game-minute management system, no more full 40-minute sprints. You'll have to let go of the idea that success equals non-stop dominance, Dr. Hart said. You can still be great, but smarter. Your game can evolve. Caitlin sat silently, absorbing it all. She had always played with fire. Deep threes, no-look passes, fast break fearlessness. But maybe it was time to trade fire for finesse. Can I still be me? She whispered. Dr. Hart smiled. The best version of you. Just a longer-lasting one. In the weeks that followed, Caitlin disappeared from the public eye. No flashy interviews, no promotional appearances, just Caitlin, rebuilding. She worked with specialists from Europe on knee stabilization. She wore motion sensors in practice to measure stress points. A new shooting coach helped her reshape her release. Quicker, more balanced, less explosive strain. There were tears, frustration, moments where she wanted to go back to the chaos, the adrenaline, the preview and the identity she built from being the unstoppable force. But in that stillness, something else emerged. Clarity. By the time she returned to fever practice, she was leaner, quieter, but sharper. She didn't sprint up the court every play. She glided. She didn't force shots. She created rhythm. Her game, once built on speed and surprise, now pulsed with patience and precision. Reporters questioned if she'd lost her edge. Until the next game. It was against the New York Liberty on a packed Sunday afternoon. Caitlin came off the bench, part of a new load management plan. The crowd murmured at first, confused by the lack of spectacle. But when she entered, the pace shifted. Her passes dissected the defense. Her shot, smoothed out but deadly, swished from 28 feet, no step back needed, no knee strain. Late in the fourth, with the game tied, Caitlin got the ball at the top of the key. The defender crowded her. A year ago, she might have driven hard, taking contact, drawn the foul. But now, one pivot, a head fake, and a soft teardrop floated over the outstretched arms and in. Fever win. It wasn't flashy. It was evolved. In the post-game presser, she was asked what had changed most. My mindset, Katanen said. I used to think I had to do everything every night to prove I belonged. Now, I just want to last. I want to lead. And to do that, I had to change how I played, how I thought, even how I trained. When asked about Dr. Hart's early diagnosis, Caitlin didn't flinch. She told me the truth and gave me a way forward. That's all you can ask for. A second chance.